What's poppin', beautiful people? Welcome into the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. Happiest of Mondays to everybody. We are here to go over our weekly review of the Housewives of Rhode Island, the newest Housewives to the Housewives franchise. They're doing a great job, okay? I am thoroughly entertained by these women. I have been entertained every single episode that I have seen of these women, and I feel like I'm going to continue to be entertained. They give a lot. But welcome into anybody who is just now joining. Welcome into all the people who are watching our replay. I do hope that you guys consider liking the video, sharing it, subscribing to the channel, all of those good things. I'm just getting my notes out here, but I appreciate all of you beautiful people. Also, as always, please tap in with the links available in the description of this video. There are links for you guys to view other great creators' channels, such as James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel, as well as Kiwan J TV, JB Says What, and a bunch of other talented creators that also cover this show. But let's get into the episode, you guys, because a lot did happen. A lot did happen. I know you beautiful people had to have seen Rosie put you know who up out of the house. I'm happy that Rosie put her out the house. I'm going to just let y'all know before we even get to it. I'm extremely happy that Rosie was put, or not Rosie, but I'm happy that Kelsey was put out the house because I don't really care for Kelsey. She may be good for TV, but outside of that, she just doesn't give the greatest or deepest person. But we start this episode, which is titled Splitting Hairs, with Alicia. Now, I was trying not to laugh, y'all, and I'm going to tell you the reason I was trying not to laugh. The reason I was trying not to laugh is because Alicia should not drive. Alicia should not drive. She is behind the wheel of this car. Her man is with her, and you could tell that her man is like, listen, you got to start picking up our daughter from, you know, dance class. Her kid's at the age she has stuff, and she don't drive. And I'm kind of looking like, how do you have a daughter if you can't drive? Why are you complaining about what's in a prenup if you can't do for yourself? I digress. But Alicia swears she don't want to marry this man because he don't want to leave her with nothing. But why would anybody want to leave you with everything if you're not even capable of driving a car? I'm just saying. But let's pause and say hello to Shani. What's poppin', Shani? To my Gemini twin. Gemini season is here as of Thursday, and my birthday is on Friday. I am excited, not really for the birthday, but more so I'm excited to get away from the Bay Area and get out of town. I also have word that James from Watch Your Mouth the Reviews did touch down in North Carolina. I'm not quite sure why he can't go live until June 1st. However, I do understand people like to get settled and things like that. So lots of good things happening this week. Lots of good things. Shani, you are always the first up in here, and I appreciate you for it. Truly, I do. But Alicia's trying to figure out how to drive and all this craziness, y'all. And she tells her fiance that she is bothered by the fact that Liz said that she was never homeless. She made it seem like Liz came for her, but I kind of feel like, Alicia, saying that you were homeless when you weren't, just because that's probably what your mama told you because she was mad as hell that her husband left her and put her back into a house with her parents. Most women would learn from that mistake and become independent. Alicia's done the opposite. I feel like this is just the example of when you have a parent in a kid's ear and they're telling them something mixed in with abandonment. Alicia was never homeless, and the fact that she thinks she was is ridiculous. And Liz was right to tell her, like, instead of viewing it that way, you had your grandparents. As long as your grandparents were around, you weren't going to be homeless. There are people who are actually homeless. There were times in my life growing up as a child, we had to sleep in shelters. So I don't understand, Alicia, why you sitting up here trying to make it seem like Liz came for you. Liz did not come for you. She did what a friend was supposed to do. And she let you know that you was wrong and it might come off wrong. But she did not care. She's telling her story. And in addition to not caring and feeling how she feels, which I kind of respect about Alicia, you could tell she gonna feel how she feel and nobody can change it. But she ran a stop sign. She sped over a speed bump. And there were points where, you know, the yellow line that divides the right from the left side of the road, she was all up in between it. She wasn't staying on her side of nothing. I don't want to see Alicia drive anymore. I don't feel like it's safe. I low-key feel like Alicia driving is dangerous, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. But before we move in, let's get into the comments. Shani said, Alicia, you lied. You were not homeless. Your pops lost your childhood home and you had to move to a new home. But there was always a roof over your head, girl. That is not homeless. Thank you, Shani. Thank you. Because leave it to Alicia. Leave it to Alicia. She was homeless, meaning you don't have a place to sleep. You need to go elsewhere to wash your body and your clothes. Like, Alicia didn't go through any of that. She went from having her own room to having to live with her parents. I'm like, Alicia, but Alicia's like the perfect dash of delusion that it just works. Shani said, Alicia, you and your family were not sleeping up under a bridge in Rhode Island or squatting on the docks. Look, Alicia must have watched Potomac and said she want to be like Ashley's mama, Sheila in that wig, because I don't understand it. She said it then had an attitude that there were 2 stop signs back to back. I said, Alicia, stop signs are usually there. Something is in my eye, y'all. I'm so sorry. Alicia don't understand that stop signs are sometimes there for a reason. It could be an intersection. It could be a lot going on. They want to get, but the fact that she was just mad there was a stop sign there. She's funny. She gives us a certain level of comic relief while still participating in drama and not, you could tell what the heck is going on. Let me go off camera for a second. You could tell that Alicia is not going to be anybody other than herself. At least thus far, that's what Alicia is giving. Shani said, my kids would not be carpooling when Alicia drives. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Because honestly, carpooling, I've always thought parents were a little kooky for trusting that. You can't trust that everybody else is going to drive like you drive. You just can't. Like, I got some friends that don't drive too good. I would never want my child in the car with them. I'm just keeping a spade a spade. It's just how it is. Shani says, Alicia is the Teresa of this show. Both of them cannot talk and always get sayings incorrectly. Teresa at least has an excuse. Teresa's first language was Italian. So she at least gets the excuse. Alicia just seems not the smartest. No shade to her, but she doesn't seem like the smartest person. She just does not. Shout out to everybody who is joining in and who is here. I do appreciate you, beautiful people. James will be away from most of the recaps that I am doing because he is moving. I like to keep things on schedule, or if I get behind, I'm screwed because I'm also a full-time student, work full-time and stuff. So I appreciate everybody for supporting and still watching our reviews. Oh, Lord. Let me see. I missed something that Shani said. If you can trust them on the school bus with the school bus driver, that's a stranger. You can trust them with your neighbor or friend, but they got to be a responsible driver. That's true. And Alicia is not a responsible driver. Like, if you're mad at a stop sign, I don't feel as though you're the most responsible. I just don't. And I'm not going to. Rosie talks to her husband, Rich. And I know I see the rumors online. Everybody thinks she's in a lavender marriage. Whatever she's in, her man is willing to film and supports her and is willing to build this house. So go, Rosie, do you. I'm starting to like Rosie a lot more. I feel like a lot of people only liked Kelsey because of the scandal she brought to the show. But really, we're seeing that Kelsey is like a 17-year-old in a 32-year-old's body. And she kind of dates like a hoe. And she's not even doing it right. But Rosie is talking to her husband about the group, you know, and I do feel like it's just naturally funny when she talks to him, because you could tell that Rich do not really care, but he talks to his wife so that she's engaged. But Rosie's made the decision to invite Kelsey over to her house. We know it ain't gonna go well, but at this point, she's just trying to invite her over and see where things go. And also as like a stepping stone, like, hey, last time you got upset. And Rosie be throwing shade too. She just be throwing shade in a clever way, because she tells Rich, yeah, you know, I invited her over. Gonna let her cut my hair again. This time I'm going to post it on Instagram for everybody to see. Because it's like, really? You're tripping off of that? You're tripping off of that? Now, I'm not saying that it's not a thing if people don't support you. Like, my friends that repost me, I appreciate them. And I will say that I do notice that strangers on YouTube support me 20 times more than my actual friends outside of YouTube. That's okay. You don't have to call everything out and go off. That's why I was looking at Kelsey like she was crazy for coming at Rosie about that. Like, who cares? especially if it's someone who isn't an actual like close friend that you're kind of getting to know and more so forced to be around for the show. Like, it's not that deep. So I understand why Rosie's annoyed, because Kelsey's making something small so big and just keeps looking for reasons to come for her. But we'll see if it goes well. And Rosie's husband, Rich, made the best point that we've all been saying on the internet for weeks and weeks since the show premiered. And he said that it's time for Rosie to start fighting back against these women and stop accepting the bullshit, which I agree. They don't question the square footage of her home, the reason that she has left her job. They have insinuated that she's cheated on her husband, perpetuated the rumors about her being in a lavender marriage. I mean, these women have come for Rosie over and over and over, and it's primarily been Kelsey. So I do understand Rich saying, like, he probably tired of hearing his wife complain, and it's like, you gonna have to read one of these bitches for filth. You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do it. Absolutely. Shanny said Rosie and Kelsey look too much alike. I'm still fighting to tell them apart. That's the funniest thing, though. They do look alike. The only difference is really in how they dress, do their hair, and the sound of their voice. But they do look extremely similar, and they're both younger. I feel like maybe Kelsey wants to be the youngest one or something. I don't know, but Kelsey gives insecure in every which way of the word. Shanny says when she called Kelsey a squatting mistress, I fell out. She called her a high-priced squatter in the last episode. I said, get her together. While she's sitting up here talking about you, the jokes are endless with her. All she could talk about is, oh, she says she has this. Well, at least she is on the deed, like she said. At least she got the husband. I know Kelsey probably watches these episodes and just be cursing out Rosie something vicious. But, oh, well, you should have left her alone. Shanny said when Rosie told them, yo, I quit my job because I kept bleeding from my butt, I could have just told everybody I got fired. That sounded like she might be telling the truth. The condition she said that she had at work, that is what happens when you have it. And there's a reason why when you go on leaves of absence and things from your jobs, like your job keeps it private. So it doesn't mean the public gets to know. Like the idea of privacy is warped within this group. I could tell y'all that. Shanny said, man, scream Kelsey out about that closet she living in right about now. And she probably got a white refrigerator with no ice maker. Oh, what did Nene Leak say to Kenya? Ooh, child, be get up. I am cracking up. It looks like I keep freezing on StreamYard, y'all. I might go off camera, but I'm going to try and hang in there. We're going to get to the next scene of this episode. If you haven't already, I do hope that you consider liking the video on your way in or out. Also, big shout out to the replay gang. I'm going to start shouting y'all out more throughout the video. And for those who don't stay for the full video, it is my birthday week, so there will be some changes to the schedule this week with our lives. Things like Love and Hip Hop Miami, which are normally reviewed live, are going to be pre-records that I'm going to upload ahead of time. I'm also adding The Shy to the lineup, as well as the Netflix show Nemesis. So there will be videos premiering. We just won't have as many live streams this week. But let's get back into the episode, beautiful humans. We see Kelsey in her new apartment. And it's not even her new apartment, because this bitch don't make no sense and she's not smart. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Please don't think that I'm mean for saying Kelsey's a dumb bitch, but a dumb bitch is a dumb bitch, and I see a dumb bitch and I'm going to call it out. Now, her mama and her sister come by her new apartment that we can't really say is hers. Now, I'm assuming that this new apartment is in her name. But what the fuck was the point in moving out of the boyfriend who you didn't see for half of the year's property, his big mansion, for you to move into this tiny apartment if the boyfriend is still going to be paying for this new apartment that you have? She said that her man is paying for her rent. He's paying for her utilities. I'm assuming water, gas, electric, all of that. He's paying for her car, and he's paying for her car insurance, as well as her medical cost. You may as well have just kept living there. Why move if he's just going to pay all of your bills? It doesn't make sense. And then you say you moved out because you're ready for a family, monogamy, you know, a normal relationship. She has this other boyfriend, Billy, who doesn't like, from what we saw in this scene, because he comes by and is fixing stuff and putting it together. And he doesn't like the fact that another man is paying for her whole life because the bitch is a sugar baby. She's a sugar baby. No man is just going to pay your bills for no reason. As quiet as it's kept, 10 years with somebody will never equate to 10 years with to 2 years that you were married to somebody. Like, I feel like this man is just paying her bills because he's rich as fuck. And he knows if he pays his bills, then when he's in Rhode Island, if he can't find no coochie, he could call up Kelsey. What's she going to do? Deny him? Because I promise you, the moment she denies that man some cutty, when he wants some and he's paying them bills, he going to stop paying them bills. And then she going to run and cry to Billy, who makes good money and is willing to take care of her and treat her well, but she don't want him because he's not massively rich like the other guy. I swear, women like this, like, if that's what it takes, like if money is all you need to be happy and materialism and you're willing to just be somebody's part-time lover or high price squatter, as Rosie once called it, I don't respect women like that. Like, that's stupid. If you got with the man and he gets rich, fine, whatever, live your life. If you get with the man and he's already rich and tells you you're monogamous but then cheats, okay, fine. But Kelsey got with the rich man who was rich at the time that she met him. They never made the discussion to ever be like monogamous. He's never wanted just her. I just feel like the bitch is not the smartest. That's just me. That's just me. Let me catch the comments. Shani said you could cut down on the lives this week. That's okay. And a little bit next week because you're going to be recovering. But so long as you're coming back next week with the lives with these new shows. I am. There's a lot of new shows coming. We're going to be adding This Is Polly, The Shy, Bravo's new show In the City, Netflix's Nemesis. There's some documentaries I'm going to get out there, as well as Love After Lockup, and 90 Day The Last Resort once June comes. So I am always adding shows. To anybody watching, I do not bite. I promise I don't. Don't be afraid to suggest the show. I have cable and lots of apps. So more than likely, you're helping me get my money's worth. Okay. Amen. Shani said, you know how I like to interact with you on the lives. I appreciate that. I enjoy interacting with y'all too. Because I would hate to just look at this camera screen and me just be talking to my computer. Ooh, you scared the crap out of me. Hello. My husband is home from work. I did not know he was behind me, though. My heart literally almost just skipped a beat. Shout out to Oh So Best, you guys. She's still sucking and swallowing for him paying all of them bills. She's busy. She's busy. That's all I'm gonna say. Her mouth is always busy. Hi, American born. Happy Monday. I hope you are doing well. You come over here, got all this vape stuff on my camera. Lord help us. Slam pig. I was Googling what a slam pig is. In the West Coast, we don't use terms like that. So, I mean, Kelsey said, or Rosie said on Watch What Happens Live, that slam pig is an East Coast slang term. I've spent time on the East Coast, have family on the East Coast, a lot of friends on the East Coast. I've never heard them use the term slam pig. However, all of my East Coast friends, I'm not going to lie, are either Dominican or African American. So maybe it's a term in different communities, if y'all get what I'm trying to say. Maybe it's a different type of a term. Maybe it's a different term. Oh, Lord, help me. Y'all see how you scared the crap out of me? Lord. Shanny says hello to Brother Joe. I'm sure he will appreciate it. Not use the Urban Dictionary one. Let me see what slam pig means on Urban Dictionary. I'm actually Googling it right now. Slam pig. Oh, look, it's already in there. Probably millions of people. A girl who is about average looking that likes to have random sexual encounters with many guys when she gets drunk. She loves to hook up and get, spread eagle is where it comes from. It says slamping or slammy. It's a loose woman or man. Oh, wow. Okay. Damn. It does describe Kelsey. She's loose and willing to be with multiple people. Lord help us. She is literally text spec definition of a slam pig. That's going to be difficult for her to talk about at the reunion. Because I feel like if Andy Cohen wants us to like him, he needs to ask the appropriate questions. Don't fuck up this reunion hosting the way Andy Cohen fucks up all the other reunions. Like, I want them to pull out the Urban Dictionary definition of slam pig, read it out to her, and explain that she checks all those boxes. Because if you're going to proudly be a high-priced squatter, as she called her also, or a high-priced side chick, then, baby, you better be ready to answer for terminology such as slam pig. I just feel like that's what the host should do. That's what she should do. Lord, Rosie said, oh, Watch What Happens Live. Looking addictions. Exactly, Kelsey, to the T. Right, we all need to send Andy a message. I feel like Andy Cohen does not host the way I want him to host. And I feel like they need to take away the reins for him hosting reunions, because he hasn't really like done a good job hosting reunions, in my opinion, in like the last decade. But I'm not going to be mean and get into all of that. But Kelsey got somebody paying her bills. There's only so much I could say about this. Literally every scene with this lady is about somebody else's income and what this other person can do for her. And it gets boring after a while. She can't really say much because she don't have no job of her own. But okay. Moving on. Ashley, we get a scene with Ashley. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Ashley's on my last fucking nerve. If this lady cries one more time, I don't know what it is. I know some people are just like naturally emotional, but this is giving, she truly has not been through anything in life and is just going to keep giving us these colorless tears. The bitch cried when the sun come out. My God, I can't keep up with Ashley. I'm like, is that why her kids are so needy? Is maybe you raising them to be as sensitive as you, Ashley? I'm not trying to be mean, but she has cried in every episode we have seen her in. She cried on a date with her husband. She cried about her husband working too hard. She cried about her son ended up in the ER. She cries about everything. My God, I'm trying to be nice, y'all. I'm trying to be nice, but Ashley is a crying asshole. Let's see. Naya says, sorry, I'm late. I had to refresh YouTube. It's ghetto. You know what YouTube has been doing to me? So I stream through streaming software, like a lot of YouTubers. Sometimes when I hit go live on StreamYard, YouTube does not catch that I am live, and it won't tell you guys till my live is like halfway through or 20 minutes through. Like, I don't know what they're doing, and I can't keep up with all the bugs. But I'm happy to see you, my thugging cousin. I'm happy to see you, Naya. I hope you're having a good Monday thus far. Shani said, look it up in the dictionary. It describes Kelsey to a T. This damn talk to text, you know how it be. I can figure out what you guys are trying to say. As long as I can understand the meaning behind it. You all good. You are all good. She is stressed and is frazzled as fuck trying to keep her man in that coffee shop. My man better not ever be that stressed out and unable to help me and our kids and our family over a coffee shop that's not profitable. I'll be damned. You better go find other ways of making money, because I still feel, Naya, I still feel like Ashley and her husband are not telling us something. Like, it can't just be that you're not profitable. Like most coffee shops, new restaurants, what did they say? It takes like 2 to 5 years before they become profitable, and you just have to hang in there till then. So there's got to be something else they're not telling us. Maybe they're in debt. I don't think it's anything scandalous, but I can see them maybe not wanting to be like, they just seem like more private. You don't have to share so much on The Bachelor, if that makes sense, compared to like here. American Born said it's her husband. She is stressed out and she cried a lot on Bachelor in Paradise. I've had a couple of people comment that, because I am extremely annoyed with this lady's tears, but fuck. I didn't mean to curse like that, y'all. I said I'm supposed to be stopping cursing, but my God, the lady, she be, what you mean lies? You're not even on the internet. Play your Xbox. But the lady stressed me out. The bitch, she probably crying right now watching me. And I like Ashley. I feel like she's a loyal friend. I like that she doesn't choose sides. She's just sensitive. That's all. God bless her. Just keep the tissue around. She reminds me of Candace from Housewives of Potomac. Y'all know how Candace is good to cry. No matter how mean she is to somebody else, Candace is going to cry. And she's going to fold a napkin I don't know where she gets these napkins from, but she's going to fold it into a perfect symmetrical triangle. And she's going to take each corner and catch the teardrops as they come out the eye. Okay. Candace is a crier. I think we got our replacement for Candace because obviously she ain't coming back. Shani said the only time it was justified for Ashley to be crying in this episode was when she had a breakout because her baby was in the ER. That makes sense. That makes sense. But she's cried every time we've seen her. It's like, girl. Exactly. I didn't even check notifications. I just went to your page. Yet I don't know why YouTube's doing me dirty, y'all, but share the video went off live so that other people could see it, help get it in the algorithm. They don't like me all the time at YouTube, for real. I really don't know why. But I appreciate you guys for still coming on my channel and looking to see if I'm live. That actually warms my little heart. I'm a thug, but I'm a sensitive thug. I just don't cry like this other hoe we talking about. American Born says, Jared stays at work so he doesn't have to help with the kids. I can't stand him. I knew I liked you, American Born. I found American Born at Sandra P's page, Sandra P Gen X. Go check out her page. She is linked in the description of this video and does cover this show and does a great job at it. But I agree with this. And I feel like we don't have enough and haven't seen enough on the show to like prove it. But I definitely feel like he's working so much so that he doesn't have to be at home with kids. Because we talked about this a little bit when James was on our review a couple weeks ago. I get that it's busy to own a business, especially a restaurant. But baby, you have to have a staff. You can't be the one taking the order, making the coffee, warming up the sandwiches and pastries, and also serving people and cleaning up. I'm sure he has a staff there. I feel like he don't want to be around those kids. And The Bachelor rushes the process of marriage. A lot of them make it. Some of them don't. But they give the type of people, he does give that. I think that's a great, an astute observation, American Born. Something's definitely off with them. You think all the men on this show are cheating? I feel like Joe Ellen's husband cheats. He just ain't been caught yet. I do not think that Rosie's husband cheats, but I think that if the right man was to come along, he might. Don't cancel me, y'all. Do not cancel me. We know that Brian Pontarelli, his eggplant emoji is all over the East Coast. It's all over the East Coast. We know that, but I'm sure a lot of these men cheat. I'm definitely sure. They both have slanted eyes. They can't see the problem. Not they can't see the problem clearly. Ooh, interesting. You want her to leave Jared. Interesting. I kind of do too. It seems like Ashley and her parents and nannies are helping to raise her children more than her husband is. Now, if your husband's away from you and not helping out as much with the kids because he's the breadwinner, leave that man alone and rub his feet and bust it wide when he come home. But if your husband is not the breadwinner and is actually taking money from your household and your children's mouths, trying to keep something open that's not profitable, and he ain't coming home, you might have a point, American Born. She might need to go. She might need to go. I feel like we'll know more about Ashley if she gets a season 2 or 3. Like, I feel like she's a person that'll take a while to really tell us what's what. Shani said, little white woman tears. They all take that class in high school. Not they take the class in high school. Folding napkins into perfect throwing stars. I will always remember Candace on Housewives of Potomac for teaching me to fold a napkin into the most perfect form of art and then use pieces of that art to not ruin my makeup, okay? Because if I cry in makeup, it's mascara and everything running in every direction. Hi, Miss Sandra. Hope you are having a good day. I caught some of your live earlier today. You guys check out Miss Sandra's channel. She has a lot going on and also covers a lot of the same shows that I do. It's always good to get multiple perspectives. Tap in with her. Beautiful Black people, please tap in. Where's that cry angle? Not the cry angle. Thug tears are real, though, Naya. They really are real. They are real. Something in the water in Rhode Island because they all nuts. something. But you know who's from Rhode Island, who was very famous, who should have like kind of given us like a slight hint they might be wild out there? Paulie D from Jersey Shore. That's where they found him at. And apparently some of the people they were going to cast were out there also. So I was like, okay, they must be acting a fool in that little ass state. Jared is not slick and content pays more for them. Sandra, I thought it was just me. I'm like, why are you fighting for this coffee shop? If Jared owned like an actual restaurant, I would understand them sitting in a deficit and not being profitable for like the first 2 to 5 years, because I know it takes a while to make a profit. But a coffee shop where you don't need that much staff, you have staff, it's famous because of your name from The Bachelor, you have it easier than most people in business, like, and then you guys do social media and have other brand partnerships, other things that come with that. I don't understand why that man is at that coffee shop unless he just rather be there than with her. Because y'all remember that scene a couple episodes ago in the coffee shop, and she's trying to talk to Jared, and he just kept making coffee. He was keeping up, but now I'm like, he's probably just not that interested. That's what my sister's friends say. They live up there. Oh, Lord. They acting a fool in Rhode Island. Rich picks good mistress etiquette. I feel like everybody's cheating, though. I do, especially with how the rumors are getting around. They're cheating. Sorry to barrage your DMs, but I try to send good stuff. I'm sure Miss Sandra does not mind. Honestly, the stuff y'all send to our DMs on social media be helping to give us content and know what to talk about sometimes. I'm sure she appreciates it, as we see. Oh, my goodness. Candace did not get Puffs or Kleenex deal on commercial the way she be folding them napkins. It was a missed opportunity, but it's not too late. Because even when she reviews shows, she still be in tears. She still be in tears. He could barely afford to fix the machines. Right. He's like, now our oven is broke. Your oven and your espresso machine are out. You're a coffee shop that reheats things in the oven, and you need your espresso machine to make coffee. So I'm not understanding why I don't understand what they're doing. But Ashley's son is okay. I just want to say that baby is too big to have a pacifier or a binky, whatever y'all call it, in his mouth. But that's all I got for her. Now we get to a scene with Joellen and her mother, as well as her sister Jen. They all went by her grandfather's house. Her grandfather recently passed away. He did live a very long time. Unfortunately, Joella says her grandfather was the only one that really showed her love and like affection that a child needed growing up. And she tells her mom how she feels, says that she's mean to other people because of her mom. I want to point something out to you guys. Whenever someone says, I know I'm mean to people, or I know I'm messy, and they say, I know I'm this way because of that, if you know the root of why you're a certain way, then you have the tools to prevent it, to correct yourself, or to seek help in some other way. So I appreciate Joellen for being open, but if you know you mean, then stop being fucking mean. Like, either you want to be that way or you don't. I'm just saying, Joellen. But I did feel for her. It sounds like her and her mom have like a disconnect in their relationship because, as we learned last week, her mom sent her away to like behavioral camps for kids that misbehave. A lot of the kids in situations like that are court ordered to be there, or foster youth, or, you know, just truly troubled kids dealing with things. Joellen feels like she didn't need to be there, and her mom kind of took it as a shortcut to not deal with her. But something Shani pointed out that I think was actually important to say, her sister Jen was sent away once and was never sent away again. Joella was sent away over and over again, and feels like it was because she had big boobs and her mom thought that she was boy crazy. But based on how Joellen's described herself behaves today, and from what we saw in the old pictures, it did look like she was boy crazy. Does being boy crazy mean that you need to be sent away? No. But I also feel like if your mother is willing to apologize and acknowledge her wrongs, then at that point, you have to decide either you're going to try and do some family therapy and work on it with her, or you're going to find other ways to move forward. But now that we've gotten to this point, her mom apologized and gave her a hug. It seems like her mom is willing to try. But I don't know. I kind of see both sides. I get where her mom is coming from a little bit, but some of the stuff she said, like her mom only wanting to take her daughter back home once they threatened to put her in the system because nothing was wrong with her. I just think it's a little crazy. I feel like Joellen is going to be bothered about this until she heals herself enough in therapy to where she can accept the fact that even though your mom did you dirty, you can have a relationship with her in your adult life that is better than it was when you were younger, but she's not going to behave and do everything the way that you want her to do it. And Joellen has to just like choose to accept that because the lady can't go back in the past. So I do hope that they work it out, but I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about it because I felt really bad for Joellen, but again, do the work on yourself and work it out. You can't just blame other people for too long. That's just me. Naya says, so the baby can't breathe, but he got a pacifier. Right. It's very odd. Well, Joellen also got sent away 3 times during her formative years. Yes, I'm aware of that. But I'm like, your mom's admitting stuff, like move past it or go to therapy and just accept it for what it is. Because it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Most parents, like, let's just keep it real. If it was a Black parent, they probably wouldn't admit to shit. Wouldn't apologize for shit. She'd be lucky to get the acknowledgement of it happening. But I don't know. She was sent away. She was always sent back because they found nothing to be wrong with her. She's obviously made on to have a good life. I get that childhood trauma impacts us, but we still got to go on. We just do. Shani said, Joellen, and you're mean now because you've just always been mean. Be real about it. I'm a petty woman, and I have always been petty. I do feel like she's been petty and has probably always been confident in like her personality and how she is. I do feel that way about Joellen. Sandra P says, I try to show Joellen compassion because of that. I think we all do. I went through that as a teen. My mom sent me away to a place called Center for Discovery because I was basically a whistleblower against her then husband at the time who was abusing me and my siblings. And they sent me back. They were like, nothing's wrong with her. It was not the greatest thing. It was traumatizing. I had to sit in juvenile hall, go through all this stuff. In the end, I was sent back home each time. I went through it like 4 times. And it did impact things as an adult. But I kind of got to a point where I was just like, what happened. I can't change her. Either I'm going to choose to deal with her or I'm not. Everybody's different. Everybody is different. But I do empathize with her for going through that because those places are not for people to just send their kids away when they have an argument. They really are dual diagnosis programs that are for kids with behavioral problems that have actually been through things who need the help. So for parents like Joellen's mom to just send their kid there because she's a little boy crazy, which what teenage girl isn't, is a little crazy. It's a little crazy, but I also kind of feel like Sandra, her mama, not going to admit to shit on TV. She's not going to admit to nothing on TV. Joellen, I think he was a fast ass little girl growing up and she couldn't handle you. The mother is jealous of Joellen because she is prettier than her. That could be. Joellen is a very pretty lady. She looked better than her mama and Jen, in my opinion. That could be. A lot of moms will be jealous of their children. They struggle to admit it. A lot of people don't like talking about it, but it is a thing. Joellen went 3 times. Her sister only went once. Notice when she came back after the 3rd time, that's when she started pursuing the sister's boyfriend, which is now Joellen's husband. Huh. Oh, there. Well, I think mom just didn't want to look bad on TV. I forgot the whole scene. Her mom did have like perfect answers. And I was like, why is she giving this to her now? I'm sure Joellen's been trying to talk to her mom about that. She probably don't want to look crazy on TV. You're probably clocking it perfectly. Meanwhile, Joellen was doing hoe activities but I didn't think that was a good reason. It's not. A lot of teenagers have sex. Their hormones are crazy. They start to discover each other. They date. They have sex. Doesn't mean that they're bad kids. Doesn't mean anything. I met my husband at 16 and we had sex. We did. We definitely had a lot of sex, but I was still like a 4.5 GPA student, still was volunteering, still worked jobs, still was a good kid, you know? Some people though view like teenage girls and teens getting like boy crazy and stuff, they view it as like the worst thing ever, but it doesn't always mean it's something bad. Right. And she got the apology on camera. That's all she needed. That's all she's probably going to get to. I feel like her mom won't come back to this off camera. Naya says she's torn. I feel for her traumatic past, but that doesn't define the future. I agree. I'm sure she learned a lot of bad behaviors being around all those other problem kids. And she said she's been in therapy for a long time. She needs to be in there a little bit longer, but you are correct. Where was Joellen's grandpa every time she got sent away? It sounded like at one point she was left to stay with the grandpa when she was talking to her mom, which I thought was absolutely insane. Yeah, Paris Hilton spoke about what happened to her. A lot of those Dr. Phil places were fucked up. That rapper Bad Baby, the one that culture appropriates real bad, Miss Catch Me Outside. How about that? I think that's why she fucked up, because she got sent to one of them too. And she's been speaking about it and nobody believed her until Paris Hilton came forward, which is crazy. But I like Joellen too. She's perfect for reality TV. I actually enjoy how messy she is. I like Joellen. At first I didn't, because I was like, how you coming for another woman's husband? But now seeing how Rula moves with Brian, child, you could show Rula Brian eating the coochie of another chick in her bed, and she would probably still find a way to say, I don't know, I just need the evidence. Like, I don't blame Joellen. Love Joellen. She's actually one of my favorites of Rhode Island. I have not had a favorite yet, but Joellen is definitely one of my favorites, and Rosie is right behind her. Right behind her. Naya said a black mama would have just looked at her and shrugged. Right. Like, what you want me to do? You grown now? Or what was it? I was watching something and somebody's parents said to them, well, you turned out all right, didn't you? That's what a lot of people do. They'll say, well, you turned out fine, so why are you complaining? What can we do? One thing about Rhode Island, they have state homes for all kinds of things. Right. It does look pretty, though. Like all the green and like it's city life, but not overpopulated. Y'all, I live in Oakland, right near downtown, and I am 10 minutes away from San Francisco. So I'm used to, like, when I think of a city, I'm thinking like big city, like trains, cars, people everywhere, stuff like that. It's nice to see somewhere pretty and populated, but not like where you're smothered by other humans like we deal with here in California. But y'all know I love California. I'm going to be here. I'm going to complain, but I'm going to be here. Sandra B said, Mrs. Best, they don't mention the father or her man. She might have thought Jen and Joe wanted her man. Interesting. They never mention Joellen's dad. That's actually a good point. They really don't. We curious. And you know, the colorless, they be having some crazy shit going on in their family. I wouldn't put it past the mom. I would not. Naya says, my teenage stepdaughter drives me crazy, but I'm not sending her nowhere the fuck. Teenagers are, especially teenage girls, they're impossible. You just kind of gotta suck it up sometimes. You just do. You can't send them away. Good point. I think you're right, Sandra. Sandra probably is right. There's definitely something with that fuck. It's performative. She ain't never said sorry until Bravo put a mic on her. Oh yeah. At least the lady's not dumb though. She said, wait a minute, I'm on national television. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. That's how this lady viewed it. And I don't blame her. Jen and Joellen, they definitely don't have boundaries. They definitely don't. They need some boundaries. Listen, my sister gets along really well with my husband. My husband gets along well with, honestly, anybody that's important to me or that I love. However, do I want people I love folding his drawers? No. Not at all. Not at all. Or the mom could be mad that Joellen has the husband's kids in life that the other sister doesn't have. Remember, she said they favored the other sister over Joellen. I believe that. Not throw ass and get the bag. Naya, go sit in the corner. Not throw ass and get the bag, Lord. Joellen gonna keep the drama. Joellen is keeping the show going. If not for Joellen, we wouldn't know about Rula and Brian until probably like a week or two ago when all the crazy stuff came out that they found like legally with him, but we wouldn't have known much. Joellen has made sure that we've known stuff about everybody, her and Rosie, so I'm here for it. Those places were paying for bodies we find. It's true. I love Joellen. I do. At first, I didn't like her, but I do heavily enjoy her. And whenever she's on the screen, I know we're going to be entertained. She's going to give us something relatable. I'm here for Joellen. Rula did ask for the details and the proof, but I think she asked that thinking she was sending her on a wild goose chase. I think Rula's just delusional. Delusional. He is deceased, but they never speak on him, like at all. They don't speak on him at all. The stupid husband gave part of his company to the mistress. I've been seeing that. I'm like, the mistress had pictures and photos, and then you gave your mistress a part of your company and you're a doctor? What kind of stupid shit? Who does that? This man does not know how to cheat. He's not doing it right. He's not. Ride the wave because she won't be a teenager for long and I'll miss it when it's over. Oh, that's true. He did, Naya. It's been going around. There's been documentation to support that Rula's husband gave up half of his company to his side chick. The jokes write themselves, child. The jokes write themselves. It makes no sense. And Rula's a financial something, so she makes pretty good money. I don't understand what's going on with that. And I saw it was like a decent percentage. The husband is bold and must have a ding-a-ling of gold. If he had a ding-a-ling of gold, this woman would not be coming forward to bury him. She would be doing as he was saying because she'd be dick-whipped and dickmatized. So his ding-a-ling is obviously broken and weakened because she is not listening at all. He's stupid. He's probably doing the show so that Rula leaves him alone. Shani said, Rula, don't go on that trip for 2 reasons. She didn't want to hear those ladies talking about her husband's cheating, and she didn't trust her husband alone. I think that Rula was aware of the video that they're worried about showing her. I think Rula's been aware of that video and didn't want to face it. I feel like she knows. She's a Gemini. We have good discernment. She knows and is choosing to ignore it. Right. Ding-a-ling of gold is crazy. But we wish Joellen the best. Now, we see a little scene with Dolores. Listen, I love Black Dolores, as Kim Pyre calls her, on the Housewives of New Jersey, because she was the voice of reason. I stopped caring for Dolores on New Jersey because she became Teresa's sidekick. However, we don't need Dolores on the Housewives of New Jersey. I know she's friends with Liz. I'd rather see her in that capacity. This lady gives nothing and don't need to be here. But her and Liz are trying to create a weed gummy that is tailored to the symptoms of menopause. This is why sometimes I wish weed wasn't legal, because they be doing all sorts of weird shit. I don't want nothing lab grown. Give me the shit that's grown from the earth with the light in somebody's closet. Okay? That's what I want. I don't want lab grown menopause reducing weed. Okay? At the end of the day, okay? And y'all know, Mrs. Best, I live in California, so I'd like to remind everyone who is under 18 that I do not encourage smoking marijuana of anybody who does not hold a medical marijuana card and or live in a state where it is recreationally legal. I smoke weed every day, okay? I don't feel like what they're doing is a thing. Now, if you say, I'm nauseous, I want to eat a gummy, I can understand that. Weed can help with nausea, true indicas. If if you're in pain, get migraines, I have chronic migraine disorder. If you have stuff like that, marijuana can help. Contrary to popular belief, it is not good for you if you have anxiety. But how is some weed going to stop a hot flash? I am not menopausal. I'm 33. I'll be 34 this Friday. However, I get hot flashes and shit when I'm on my period. And I just don't see how a marijuana gummy is going to help someone through a hot flash and whatever else comes with menopause. I just don't. I feel like they bullshitting people so they can get money out of it. Just say y'all like to get high and want to make a gummy together, okay? That's all. And thank you for the education. We now know that Rhode Island was the first state to offer protection at work to women who are going through menopause. I think it's absolutely something that is needed. I think that's wonderful. Menopause lasts years and years and years, okay? So I absolutely feel like women should be protected who have menopause, especially if y'all not going to protect us and we have to work and deal with bullshit at work through our menstrual cycles. So I was happy to learn that, but a gummy for menopause, girl, bye. Goodbye. Bye, Felicia. Don't understand it. I don't understand it. Naya said, I'm stuck on this mistress getting the bag. If you find a man stupid enough, you know the rest. They'll do whatever you need. American Born said, me and my sister call her Black Dolores too. That's what I always call her, but I be trying not to because I had called Dorit Doris on a review and someone was like, I love your reviews, Mrs. Best, but please don't call her Doris. Her name is Dorit. So I was like, I don't want to offend people, but I'd be calling that lady Black Dolores. If you go watch my Housewives of New Jersey reviews in the playlist, that is Black Dolores. And now that we know we're going to get New Jersey back either end of this year or next year, when I review it, she will be Black Dolores, okay? When she got that BBL and her skin became a shade darker, and she's from Patterson, New Jersey, lots of African-American people there. Dolores was with the people. I said, that's Black Dolores. We like her. We don't like how she moved with Teresa, but that's Black Dolores. We're going to give her a pass. Lord, Sandra said, my brother's in California and he's got his card. I love that. He doesn't need it, but having a cannabis card in California gets you the stronger strains. They do have stronger shit for the ones with the cannabis card. I need to just go to the hood and see one of them 5-minute doctors and get me one. I need to do it. I need to do it. But luckily, we can just walk in out here if you're 21. You never liked Mary Jane. That is James, my bestie. But even in high school, he never cared for the weed. Him and this boy named Andre, not to tell James's business, if we had blunts in rotation, they would puff them, but would not inhale and blow it out. I say, you just making your breath funky for no reason. You better inhale, exhale, inhale as it goes. I'm just saying. Just saying. She said that's very progressive. Loved the fact. I didn't think the pill was tweed. I thought it was some other chemical crap. The mistress is suing Brian now as well. Rula better get away from him before these lawsuits settle. This is stupid craziness. Sandra said, I like the funny names. I'm assuming of the weed strains. That's her, Black Dolores. That's her name forevermore. Naya said, Black Dolores ain't checking for us. She don't care. She probably happy we call her Black. You probably right. You probably right. I don't mind her away from Teresa. We get the California weed here in Kentucky. My sister and her husband partake. I love that. I love that. I love that. See, not everybody partakes. Not everybody partakes. And you don't have to. Don't let people feel like you have to. Miss Sandra said that side chick is dangerous. She's obsessed with Rula. It's weird. Like, I would get it if she wanted the money and stuff, but I feel like she really is trying to get on the show. She has been called Black Dolores to her face and did not give a care. Dolores don't care. Dolores just be doing whatever she can to keep her relationship with Bravo right and to keep her money together. And I'm not mad at her for it. Show up, Dolores. Make weed friends, do you. But speaking of Rula, you guys, we do see Rula. She is sick in bed. I don't think that Rula has anything wrong with her. I think that Rula is having a physical reaction to the stress of being married to Brian Pontarelli. That's it, and that's all. They have a dinner party with Liz and Liz's fiance because Rula and Liz and them are good friends. Brian was happy and friendly on camera talking about filet or some cut of steak looks like an Achilles heel. And we learned that he microdoses Ozempic and steroids. Alicia doesn't want to tell Rula that she saw a video of this man cheating on her. I don't blame her. I didn't find the video. I didn't share the video. Let them hoes tell it since they want to laugh about the video on camera. I feel like the person that has the video needs to be the one to tell Rula. Joe Ellen, I love you, girl, but you need to be the one to go present that video to Rula. One, because you keep fucking talking about it. And I don't think, I feel like Joe Ellen deep down in her messiness really don't want to see a woman get played. I do think that. But Joe Ellen, you bringing all this information and Rula said she wants you to present it. So present it. Nobody else should have to. Go present that shit to her. Call her. Seemed like Rula answered the phone. I'm just saying. Go call her. But nothing happened from that dinner. Nothing happened from that dinner. It's just, it's funny to see Rula trying to act so perfect when we know that everything like off camera is going to shit. It's kind of funny to watch. They trying to have dinner and look nervous, and the steaks are cooked medium. Is that how everyone would like it? And why did Brian say that human blood and steak blood smell the same? I didn't need to hear that, but let me get these comments. The mistress is desperate to be on Bravo. She is. I've seen several stuff on that. Weak bitch. Tan that ass and get to the bag. In that order, as Mama D would say. Psychosemantic, poor Rula. Can we even say poor Rula? Her body is physically rejecting this man. I want Rula to leave this man. We can only give her one season of poor Rula. After this season, like if she comes back season 2 and she hasn't filed for divorce, or at the very least started cussing out Brian on camera, I'm not going to see her for Rula. I'm not going to see her for Rula. I'm just not. Yeah, Brian is weird. He's weird. You could tell he gets women because he's a doctor and for no other reason. Sandra said, in my opinion, Brian's the type to microdose a person without their knowledge. I could see it, Sandra. I could see it. I could definitely see it. Alicia hasn't got the stomach to show Rula. She shouldn't have to. She didn't find the information. She was shown it. Everybody's seen the info, and Alicia and Alicia and Rosie were the only two that were like, we need to tell her. Why are you sharing it with everybody else but Rula? But you know, they messy. Joella, you're the one who told her that if she wanted proof, you could find it. You found it. Now go tell her what it is. Don't pass the buck on to nobody else. That's real. That's real. Not give her some crackers. Why is this lady walking around with oyster crackers in her car? I love crackers too. I do, but my goodness. Rula better leave before she does something to her. These men, okay, he already got his business. I believe they said like 30 or 40% of it he gave to the mistress. He don't want to lose the other percentage or half to Rula. You never know what he could do. You never know. Rula wants to lend. You see her circle of elders. She did. I'll never forget her saying that in her Persian culture, they're frowned upon for divorces. They're already upset that she got one divorce. I really think cultural expectations are the reason that she's still in her relationship. I say that every review because it's the only thing that makes sense. It may be hard for us as Americans, especially Black Americans, to understand not leaving somebody in this situation, but I feel like that's the only reason Rula's there. That and the babies. That's the only thing. And Sandra is right to put nothing past Brian, because a motherfucker that'll move like him, you giving up your business to your side chick, fucking on her in town where you know we in a small city and people talk, you don't care to hide nothing. You fucking on this bitch in town for everybody to see. Nah, I put nothing past him either. He's reckless. He's absolutely reckless. American Board said, my brother-in-law, you got family all over the country. I love it. My brother-in-law, who is from Rhode Island, eats crackers all the time as well. Is that like a thing? I know New England clam chowder is a thing because I be seeing it in the grocery store in the cans of soup. Like, is that a thing? Because I know you put crackers in clam chowder. Like, is that like a thing out there? I'm just curious. Just curious. Because they do seem to love crackers. We get to, as James would call it, keeping his spirit alive, the meat and potatoes of this episode. Kelsey is on the way to Rosie's house to cut her hair. And Kelsey is all sorts of excited because in her dumbass mind, she's like, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get to cut Rosie's hair. And what y'all don't realize is Rosie was on the news, so she is locally well known in Rhode Island. Rosie is known and has a lot more established than Kelsey. So it makes sense that Kelsey's excited to cut her hair and get stuff shared. But she's telling her dude Billy on the phone, boyfriend number 2, quite literally. She's telling him about how she is going to bust the balls of Rosie. And I'm thinking in my head, like, without even knowing what Kelsey planned to do, you don't bust somebody's balls who you've been beefing with and coming for weeks the first time you're kicking it with them after you make peace. You might want to wait and see the condition and state of said balls before you go busting and knocking at them. That's just how I feel. But Kelsey's like, oh no, we're totally past this. I'm going to make a joke. I'm going to bust their balls. And I don't think, if I'm being honest, I know American Born said it was too soon for that nonsense. I'm glad you agree. I think Kelsey knew it was too soon. I think she knew it was too soon and did that to get Rosie to snap. I know I might be the only person who thinks that. I'm probably the unpopular opinion on an island by myself, but you called your man to tell him about your plan to bust the balls of somebody you've had beef with. They obviously weren't in that space, especially when Kelsey's complaint about Rosie has been, I don't know you that well as some of the jokes you make, and we're not in that space. Because Rosie made a joke about Kelsey and her side man situation in the first episode, and it was a whole thing. So you would think they would figure it out. So I'm kind of looking at Kelsey like, don't call your man trying to look innocent. Bitch, you messy. We know what you've been doing. You've been coming for this lady for a while. The whole 8 episodes we've seen on this show, and you have not took your foot off her neck. So now you just randomly want to joke. I don't buy that. I just do not buy it. I do not buy it at all. But what ends up happening is Kelsey pulls up into Rosie's neighborhood. Beautiful neighborhood, by the way. And the neighborhood is quiet. And this lady has sirens going off loudly from her car. I was like, wait a minute. This is a lot of effort to bust someone's balls. To bust her balls, you could have knocked at the door and been like, oh, this looks like 8,000 inches, not square feet. You could have done that when you saw her, and then maybe it would have came off as a joke. But careening your fucking car through her neighborhood with sirens blaring loudly while also saying stuff about the square footage of the home she's trying to expand, separate from any beef, I would be embarrassed. I don't need my neighbors to know everybody's at my house. They don't need to hear that, especially y'all know how America is. These homeowners associations and these colorless people be looking for any doggone reason to complain. So one would think not to roll through a neighborhood like that. Something else I want to point out is Kelsey was just living in her rich ass man's mansion, which I'm sure was in a neighborhood that is just as nice or nicer than Rosie's, that probably has stricter rules. So if you wouldn't roll through your boyfriend number one's neighborhood that way, you have the coof and the sense to know when you're in a certain type of neighborhood, you cannot do shit like that. Yet you continue to do shit like that. I don't understand why she would do it. So after she plays the loud sirens and all of that, Rosie has her plans. She did have the blueprints for the plans of her house to show that she's really going to expand it, which I thought was okay since everyone's questioning it. She was like, let me show y'all these blueprints. But she couldn't even get to that because of how loud Miss Kelsey was pulling out. And she goes out to meet with Kelsey. And Rosie asked Kelsey why she's so loud and why she would do this and if she thinks it's appropriate. And Kelsey explains it was a joke. And Rosie tells her that she didn't take it that way because they've been coming at her for weeks and weeks and weeks, which I can understand. And Rosie asked questions to Kelsey that we've all been wondering, because she gets into it with Kelsey. She's like, absolutely not. You women have been coming for me. She said, you're talking about my house. Where's your house? She told her, she said, at least my name is on the deed of this house. Where's your house? What's your name on? She told her, you're talking about my husband. Where's your husband? She told her, you got something to say about why I lost my job and left my job. You've never even had a fucking career. And the career you're about to start is because you were bored being a high-priced squatter that's only acknowledged for some of the year. And you had to have this man pay for you to get a little degree so you could do some hair. Like, I was happy that Rosie reminded her, like, everything that you coming at me about is the shit that you wish you had, bitch. Be quiet. And you know what I've noticed? She did have those in the chamber. Rosie has been waiting all of her life to say it, and you could tell she snapped. That lady said, "Where's your house?" I said, "Oh, Lord." Not screaming at her. Rosie was pissed. She was freaking pissed. Rosie said that sucking dicks ain't a career. I said, oh. I mean, to be fair, sucking dicks can be a career if you do it right. It's just that Kelsey is not the smartest to do it correctly. And I'm glad that it was pointed out. But Kelsey got irritated. She got extremely irritated. And I think she also realized that she can't do much. So she's screaming and they're talking back and forth. And Kelsey was kind of sitting there not really having much to say. That lady, Rosie, picked up her bag because she was asking her over and over, "Get out of my house!" Right in her face. And Kelsey was not leaving. Now, let me tell y'all something about Black people and why I love us. If somebody tells us to get out of your house, 9 times out of 10, we gonna leave or we finna square up. But we're gonna take it to the next step if we need to, or we're just gonna respect it and get the fuck on. This lady had to be told to get out of her house a couple of times and did not leave. If I ask you to leave my house and you don't leave, I will make you leave. Like, so I'm not mad at Rosie for picking up Kelsey's bag, reeling that shit out the door. While she's reeling her bag out the door, she is screaming and arguing with this lady while also pushing her out the door. But for some reason, Kelsey tried to come back in. And Rosie's obviously got some strength because she moved that lady's hand and closed the door, walked away. Production opened her door again. I don't give a damn how much a Bravo check is. If I close my motherfucking door and put somebody out, don't fucking open my door. Don't you open my door. But the door was open and Kelsey was triggered because she realized I've been put out on national television after admitting to being a high-priced squatter / side chick to a man that only acknowledges me for half of the year in a city that snows. Like, she was probably embarrassed in more ways than one. So she came back in, and one of the many things Rosie said to her was, "Yeah, I think you're a big queen and you only run because of your rich boyfriend paying." Well, Kelsey didn't like that line. She said, "Just so you know, I won the pageant fair and square." Kelsey, go home. Because Rosie's white Karen came out. She said, "Get the fuck away from my house before I call the police." I said, oh, Lord. The colorless love to call the police, okay? They love to call the police, and the police love to be called by them. But Kelsey does eventually leave. She ends up flicking off Rosie through the window. Baby, don't play jokes on people that you've been fucking with for a long time. If I am poking someone in the same place and I know they don't like it, and I keep poking them there, and then I go to their house and I loudly do it, I can't get mad at how they behave. It just shows you how little life experience Kelsey has. What the fuck did she expect? What the fuck did she expect? If you fuck with somebody and they're screaming at you to get out of their house, what did you expect? And I'd also like to remind people, in high school, people used to be like, "Oh, Amina, you're nice, this and that. You don't do none of that." I'll never be a bully. You know why? Because when you fuck with people, you never know when you push them too far, and you never know when they get sick of your shit. This is why you just need to treat people the way you would want to be treated. Because if that was the case, she wouldn't have been called a slam pig and put the fuck out. And when she called Kelsey that slam pig, Kelsey's face was like, child, I was here for it. They gave us the episode and entertainment of a lifetime. Shani said Kelsey was not trying to do that to be funny. She was doing it to be shady. That's how I felt. You have to know that someone's not going to take it as funny if you've been coming for them and nitpicking every fucking thing. Like, why do you bitches even care the reason why Rosie left her last job? How does that affect y'all? How does it affect you? Because me at work is different from me outside of work, and they're not at work. So what's the math was not mathing? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, y'all. It doesn't. Right. I don't want my neighbors to know I know a bitch like you. It's that part, Naya. That part. Shani said, that's why I got a big ass fence going around my property. I don't need people knowing what I'm doing in my backyard. I love that. Hey, California, that's the one thing I love about out here. For the most part, everybody keep their yards fenced up and stuff. So you don't need to see what's going on in the back. If you know what's going on in the front, you don't know what's going on in the back and vice versa. So not mad at it. Kelsey did that because she over there living in that closet in the ghetto. Now she's in the ghetto. She says she's in the ghetto. Hey, Rosie read her for filth, and then she stood on it on Watch What Happens Live. I was here for it. And you know, it's funny. When we saw the premiere for Housewives of Rhode Island, and they were all on Watch What Happens Live, Joe Ellen actually was saying that someone after they filmed the season that she don't have a problem with and feels she would apologize to is Rosie. So now I'm starting to see why. Because Joe Ellen had a problem with Rosie as well, but she has not come at her the way that Kelsey has for no reason over stupid shit. Shani said, Kelsey's first time coming into someone's house, it's customary to bring a gift, not shade and nastiness. Right. And noise. Rosie absolutely had it in the chamber. Miss Sandra, I hope that Rosie keep reading these heifers for filth, because maybe if they learn that if they fuck with her enough, she'll air out all their dirty laundry, then they'll leave her alone. I truly believe that's what it'll take. I gagged too. I was so glad, y'all, I did not work today. I kept pausing my television to laugh watching this shit. Even my cat was sitting next to me, invested in the TV, looking like, what the hell? Poor Clemmy, her dog looked traumatized. The dog looked traumatized, Lord. Rosie was cute mad. She's just so tiny. Screaming in her face. Bless her heart. You could tell she's not angry often. When she was dragging her in that bag down the stairs and out of her house, I was screaming. That's right, Rosie, kick her ass out. Drag her ass out. Absolutely. I remember my husband had a little raggedy friend that's probably still raggedy years ago that came over to our house and refused to leave because he wanted to play a video game and my shit. I threw the game out and took off on that man. If I tell you to go, you gonna go. And then he looked at my husband and was like, get your girl. He said, Mr. Best looked at him and said, she told you to leave. I said, you know what? I might marry this man because he understands the laws of your house. If my girl tells you to leave and you don't leave, then whatever else happens after that is on you, not on her. Shout out to Mr. Best for that, for being a real one. Because his friend never got over that and really looked at him with like hurt. Like, what? The coochie will always have more power. Right. Sandra said, you don't got to tell me twice. Absolutely not. When they were in each other's spaces arguing, it looked like the bookends fighting with each other because they look so much alike. She wanted to stay in the 8,000 square foot home. Right. I would have buried her in the fucking bush and then laid the foundation. I'm so tired of Kelsey. I really am. Lord. Unacceptable production. Don't open my goddamn door when you see me kicking a bitch out. Right. Y'all could stay, but she can go. They could have stayed, left her outside and filmed the aftermath of her calling Rich or something. Production literally did keep them from swinging. I love when the clear people fight. Y'all remember Jersey Shore years and years ago when Sammy Sweetheart fought, I think she fought Snooki and JWoww. The way they just mushed each other in the faces. Nobody made a fist. I thought that was the funniest thing. I feel like Rosie and them would have done that. Kelsey wanted to win the argument and had nothing to say. She had nothing to say. She had absolutely nothing. Miss Rhode Island claim got to her. I think Kelsey has to understand, and a lot of women have to understand this, especially of my generation and younger women. You could be the prettiest thing out there. You could be the baddest bitch aesthetically. If your attitude, how you date, and how you live your life is done in a manner that does not show that you respect yourself, well, guess what? None of the world will respect you either. But Kelsey hasn't figured that out yet, but I think that Kelsey has definitely figured out that the things that she does will always be remembered. That's why you got to be careful what you do and how you do it. And always make sure as a woman, even if you sit at home, to establish yourself. I was a housewife for 5 or 6 years. I got a degree during that time. So I just hope Kelsey learns from this, because Rosie did win American Born. She read her from her rooter to her tutor. She absolutely did. Kelsey also had to tell her, and I don't suck dick for a living. I take it. Oh, okay. I can't say that, but I'm cracking up. She did tear her up. I can only say so much on YouTube. Lord. Oh, you don't have to tell us twice to get the hell out of your house. Right. I never seen someone get kicked out. She had to be told so many times to leave. Get the fuck out of her house. But again, if you ain't never paid rent, you don't know what it feel like to have somebody in your house disrespecting you when you've told them to leave. I wish someone would disrespect me in my house. I really wish someone. Y'all see that tea kettle behind me? That should have been knocked upside somebody's head. They will leave if I want them to leave. Why do you care how big my house is or is going to be, bitch? You're not going to live here. Jealousy. Jealousy shows in different forms. Also projection, accusing Rosie of stuff. I think she wants Rosie to be like what she is, so she's not the only one on this show that is that way. Because no one's marriage is perfect on this show, but the only person agreeing to have multiple boyfriends is Kelsey. She's the only one who's never worked, doesn't have multiple boyfriends, did not complete an education, just has no idea about being an adult. So, you know, what can we do? American Board says, I sent Sandra a pic of the house now. They are saying it's like Giselle's house. It looked like it would be that way based on how they were building on, but it's still more house than Kelsey got. Rosie was a diva move. He was like, protect me. I love it. She says she's bringing receipts to the reunion. I bet, and I hope. The reunion's going to be off the chart. I do believe that it'll be entertaining. And Andy Cohen, you better not fuck up the church's pieces of change. I better see every dollar in that collection plate. He better get it right, because Andy does not host right. Not white girl fight with the white hands. Naya, I cannot. This is best. That's right. Right. We putting people out. Sweet man. Sorry, smart man, Brother Joe. Smart man. He knew. Oh, Lord, if I don't want you here, I don't want you here. That's right. Get out and just stand there. Kelsey's in a great position. She doesn't know yet. She doesn't. She does not. That's the clearness in the people that you got to be told multiple times to get out. Remember Ashley on Potomac? It's true. It's true. Nobody will put anyone out better than Stacy from Potomac do. She said, in fact, you can leave. Toodaloo, bitch. That's the best way anybody's been put out, when she stood up and said, toodaloo, bitch. A mess. Thank you. It's hard to add on seamlessly to a home. It is. It definitely is. It's definitely hard. Toodle-doo. I'm trying to tell y'all. But this was funny as hell to me. Let me know. Shout out to the replay gang. Let me know in the chat or in the comments after this live ends how you guys felt about this episode. This episode was definitely a 10 out of 10, a 3 out of 3. I enjoyed it, but honestly, 8 weeks in, every single episode of Rhode Island has been entertaining. It really shows that it's time for Bravo to make some changes and either close out franchises like Beverly Hills. We're done. We don't need a Beverly Hills and Orange County. I don't know if you guys know, or Beverly Hills and Orange County, 30-minute drive. We don't need housewives that close any damn way. Close out some housewives stuff or cities and start adding new cities, because Rhode Island is giving. They are giving. Miami was giving. That was a newer, recently added city. I hope that they continue to add new franchises and things like that, because I agree with you, Naya. It is absolutely the best Housewives franchise on TV right now. I wanted to quit Beverly Hills so many times. The season that just ended, I swore I was going to take that 5-hour drive to LA and go find Dorit and square up. I was so annoyed with Beverly Hills. So I'm happy that this gave a lot more. Looks like Sandra's agreeing with the rating of it as well. American Board said, yes, put Beverly Hills and Orange County on pause. I'm glad somebody agrees with me. I feel like Orange County has been dead for a while and survives on Tamra's bullshit at this point. And the cast is not likable. Beverly Hills has been dead for years, in my opinion. They should have ended it when Rena left. But, you know, I digress there. There's several Housewives franchises I feel need to go. Like, I think Potomac is done. They could close out Potomac. I don't really care for Atlanta. I know people love this season of Atlanta, but when a whole episode is people discussing shit that's happened on Twitter, that's not reality TV. I could watch y'all talk about that at the reunion. I don't need a whole episode dedicated to it. So I don't know, but whatever they did with Rhode Island, they need to do with other cities. Maybe try Housewives of Chicago. I keep seeing people recommend that. People in Chicago are a hoot. My in-laws are from Chicago. Shout out to my mother-in-law and my husband's family. They are from Chicago. The people out there can just carry on in entertainment for us. There's a lot of shows and places and cities they could go to do more, but we'll see. DM Rocks, how are you? DM Rock says, I saw a preview of the next episode. Ashley snaps on Rosie and Kelsey for fighting at her event. Good. Don't bring that bullshit to my event. Good. I just hope she don't cry while she snaps. Please, because I can't take this lady crying one more time. I want Miami back so bad. I would have loved to see Lisa explain going to jail. And I would have loved to see Larsa say that, remember, I told y'all Jody had crazy eyes. Larsa broke up with Jeff Kobe or whatever his name was. Lisa went to jail. Marisol's knees are still weak looking. Like, there's so much I would have loved to see with Miami. Loved Miami. And my views did really well on Miami. All the shows I get good views on get canceled. Miami, Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop. What next? Dorit better be packing her house. Her house is being sold tomorrow, I believe. Because the way it works in California, it'll be sold in 2 days, but she cannot be there past tomorrow. So I hope they got a rental. But for those who don't know, in California, we really do have a really bad housing crisis out here. They will tell you, this apartment is $3,000 and you need to make 3 times the rent, have a credit score over 640. And in addition to that, we want a $7,000 down payment, especially in Southern California and Bay Area. So based on Dorit's credit score, I don't know what the fuck she gonna do. She might end up in an in-law unit like Erica Girardi behind somebody's real mansion. Just saying. Yes, Miami with changes to the class. Yeah. Please don't bring back Julia. Please don't bring back Alexia. Please don't bring back Marisol. I feel like they need to go. I don't like those 3. I don't like Larsa either, but I understand what she contributes to the plot of the show and like keeping it going in terms of the mess. So I can understand that. But I can't stand Julia Lemigova. I can't stand that bitch. And I don't trust that she adopted 2 little Black kids and ain't had no form of their culture put into their life. I don't trust it. And the social worker that did that adoption was unethical and shady as fuck. But I digress. DM Rock says, I heard Bose, Dorit, Erica, and Sutton are on the chopping block, and Kyle is the only one safe. I feel like Kyle needs to be on the chopping block. She's not giving us anything. Her kids are grown. Mauricio and her are obviously not going to divorce. That's all I'm going to say, because I Beverly Hills has made my teeth itch. So bad. Giselle's neck just expanded when you said that. You know what, Naya? Go back to the corner. Naya. Lord help us. I heard the new girl on Potomac unfollowed Stacy. Not surprised. I am curious why, though. Very curious why. Dorit keeps pushing back on her book release. I thought this book was out. The book is not out? I thought the book was out. Well, she's obviously not unburdened. In the name of the book, Unburdened, now the book is such a burden that it's got to get pushed back. I don't know what the fuck she gonna tell us in this book anyway. Dorit doesn't give me anyone who's had a life interesting enough that I care to hear about. Like, sounds like before she met PK, she was just regular. And ain't nothing wrong with that, but, you know, sounds like she was just regular. Julia definitely needs to go. She does. I can't stand her. I can't stand her. I like Gertie, but I kind of feel like Gertie would be better as a friend of. Love Gertie, but she'd be better as a friend of. Shani says, what is going to say, be nice to Kyle and ask if you could stay at one of her houses. But then I just remembered Kyle be suing her sisters and evicting them from her spots. And then blaming it on addiction when I don't think that's the actual reason. She did buy a house to be near her girlfriend in Tennessee. Tennessee has some beautiful like mansions and stuff, especially in like Nashville. Beautiful mansions and stuff. If you have the money and can afford it, it's beautiful. I have a friend that moved to Memphis years ago. Shout out to you, Yvonne, because she still watches my channel and supports me and all of that. But I have a friend who moved to Memphis years ago. She likes it and is not leaving, but she always says, I shouldn't have came here. Kiwan says, I'm ready to quit Housewives of Atlanta and all the rest except Rhode Island. Hi, Kiwan. I hope you had a good day, by the way. Kiwan also covers Rhode Island. She is a YouTube content creator. Most of y'all already know that who are here in these lives. But for anybody watching the replay, if you are looking for a place to watch reviews that I don't cover that James was covering, such as Love and Marriage Huntsville, Bell Collective Birmingham, or Housewives of Atlanta, check out Kiwan J TV's channel. She covers all of those shows. She also collabs with me and James often. So I am sending everyone to Kiwan. JV says what? Miss Kira speaks. Shayna_MCD. All of the creators you'll see in the description of my videos while James is away all cover shows that he covers and I cover so that you guys can get your reviews still. I'm not going to be doing shorts or covering Love and Marriage. I hate that show. I just watch it for y'all. And Bell Collective, I have enough that I'm covering. I can't add that to my repertoire. But please tap into Kiwan J. And I agree. I think this is one of the worst seasons of Housewives of Atlanta. I think this season is actually confirming that it's dead. It can keep going, kind of like Love and Hip Hop kept going, or kind of like a 97 Toyota Camry is still running on the road, but you're not going to drive that car across country. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about RHOA. Like, it can survive, you know, if you keep giving it water and food, but this shit would die otherwise. It's on life support. Shani says, I thought the book was out and we were just waiting for her to decide what accent she wanted to use for her audio book. The shade. Oh my God. You know what? I thought the book was out as well. So I'm actually surprised to learn that it's not. But, you know, it's Dorit. She's unprofessional. Shout out to Kevin Reynolds for sending me that picture of Dorit standard time for her book signings and all of that. Because we know Dorit ain't going to get shit done on time. Speaking of Tennessee, I love that song. I think we all love Tennessee whiskey. I've never met a person who don't like that song. It be slapping. Good music. Good music. Friendly reminder from your Bay Area content creator. You see how I just used slap as I spoke about music? It's a Bay Area term. Food does not slap. Please don't say that. Music slaps. Right, husband? Music slaps. Not the food. Just letting y'all know. Lord help us. Let me get through these comments. Ooh. I just listened to reviews on Love and Marriage. I feel like that's enough. You're like, Love and Marriage really doesn't even need to be an hour. They could get away with 30-minute episodes because nothing happens on the shows, but the editing is really bad and they make it a long hour. I feel like if they condense the episodes to like 30 minutes, it would be better. But that's just me. That's just me. I heard that Giselle, Monique, Tia, Stacy, and the new girl Courtney are the only ones giving on the new season. Giselle. I'm just surprised that Giselle has given us anything. Giselle has never given anything, in my opinion, on any season of Potomac. I'm surprised she's still here, if I'm being honest. Love and Marriage was so boring this week. Got to see Marceau talking down on his wife, telling her publicly that she's an embarrassment, and proving Destiny's point about how when she said to Tisha, your husband never defends you. And then her husband didn't defend her. You know, child. I don't know what's going on with that marriage, but Love and Marriage Huntsville's a mess. On a happier note, in June, Heart and Hustle Houston will be back. So those ladies are back. I think that show's a little bit better. But I'm also bored with Belle Collective Birmingham, y'all. And so while I have y'all here, I guess I'll say I do not like Tiffany. I'm still not on her side. And she looks like one of the zombie characters that kill people on the show From that I like to watch with my husband. It's on MGM Plus. It's like a thriller, sci-fi type of stuff. I feel like Tiffany from Belle Collective looks like those things on From that kill people before they kill people. She just do, especially when she smiles. She scares me. She scares me. Giselle got her man, not her man, Robin back. She got regular Robin back. Yeah, maybe she's going to perk up now. Nobody likes Robin, so we'll see. And ain't nothing wrong with being regular, but Robin's just regular in a regular type of way. Love Heart and Hustle Houston. It's a great show. It definitely is a great show. Kiwan said the mop is the star. I can't believe we're like 4 weeks in the Belle Collective and they're talking about a motherfucking mop. Like, that's what we putting people out our house for giggling over mops now? I can't. Everybody's on my nerves. That man did not defend her, as a matter of fact. He told her to give his name back once again. You don't have to tell us twice. Keep it. Right. Mop Gate over there on Belle Collective. And Stormy, girl, you are too important and too successful to be arguing with a bitch that is staying relevant because she is Ricky Smiley's niece and her man gave her a proposal. No, she don't got nothing else going on but some fake ass prayers. So I don't know. But I don't cover Belle Collective, you guys. Maybe while James is away, I'll consider doing like literal shorts, like 1 to 5 minute opinions or something. I don't really cover it. I'll also talk to James and see if he will be able to do some shorts, because honestly, he should be able to, in my opinion. But everybody's different with needing to adjust and all of those things. But yeah, Belle Collective been on my nerves. Let me see. Did you see that actress Lisa Ann Walter declined Beverly Hills Housewives 5 times? Really? There's a couple of people that have declined to be on Beverly Hills. And I keep telling people, James says this too, in California, baby, the real money don't want to be on TV. They're the people making the decisions to pay the people going on TV. They don't want to be on there. I'm not. So American Born, I am not a big Love and Marriage Huntsville person. I actually despise the show and it makes my teeth itch. Every time I watch it, I have to pray to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. However, I didn't watch a lot of the seasons. I'm only there for James. So I've seen like a season with Stormy in it. I don't really care for Stormy. I respect her and like seeing her off of reality TV. From what I'm seeing of her on reality TV, I'm not liking it so far. I'm not. Yes, the mop, and as far as Tisha is, would have thrown Marcel his name without me, Lord. It was a short season of this Birmingham Belle Collective. Next week or this week coming up is the finale. It may be or it may not be. We never fucking know with Carlos King, y'all. We have no clue. We have no clue. Something bit me on the eyebrow. I would have threw Marcel's last name back at him so fast. Listen, I don't think my husband has ever thrown the fact that I took his last name in my face. And the moment he does is when I go down to Alameda County Clerk Recorder's office and change it back to Charles. I'll be damned. I'll be goddamned. All it takes is once. All it takes is once. Oh, that lady from Abbott Elementary. I like her. She's a funny actress. She is. Y'all, but I went over. I enjoyed it, though. I got to chat with you guys. I hope everybody enjoyed their Monday. I have to go do another review. I have another live. I have to do 90 Day Fiance, the hot mess express that is. I appreciate everybody for being here. I always enjoy talking to you guys. Feel free to keep the conversation going in the comments. Shout out to the replay gang. The next live will be right after this one. And then we'll have a review of 90 Day The Single Life for the Tell-All Part 1 tomorrow on the channel. Wednesday, I'll have Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and then I'm going to be covering Bravo's new show based in New York City called In the City. It comes on TV tomorrow. I will have a live review to go over how we felt about the premiere of that. And then we're adding The Chi, Nemesis, and a bunch of other shows. I am going to have quite a few video drops versus live streams this week because my birthday is Friday, May 22nd, and I will be traveling to New Orleans. So I won't be here, but I will be in the comments. I do appreciate everybody who stops by the channel. I love y'all real bad. I hope that y'all understand that thug life means something. Look it up if you have not already. And I will see y'all for the next review. Au revoir. Adios, Jambo. I'll see you next time. Have a good Monday. And I'll see y'all later.